Hi guys, and welcome to this edition of Phyrefli's Video Digest. Thank you very much for watching. Now this is the first in a three-part series all about Steam's early access. In this video I want to look at the negatives to taking part in Steam's early access, the second video will be about the positives, and the third one will be my conclusions. So hope you enjoy this video. Please let me know about your comments in the comment section on YouTube. Thanks for watching. So in this video I'm going to talk about the top 5 things you need to look out for when you're looking at buying a Steam Early Access game, because it's not all roses out there. The first one, and to me possibly the most important, is the fact that whenever you buy a game on Early Access, it's not complete. There's a strong chance you will only be able to play for a few minutes, or at the most 10 or 20 minutes, before getting bored or simply running out of things to do. And that is something which is very critical if you want to buy a game and play it now. Steam Early Access more than likely is not the place that you want to be. Now if you're buying an unfinished game, by definition it's not going to be complete, it's unfinished. Now is that game in a beta state, an alpha state, or a pre-alpha state? And if it's in any of them, the chances are it's got bugs. Now many early access games have relatively few bugs, but some of them have had massive amounts of bugs. Again, this comes back to you're buying an unfinished game, which might not even be playable. And if you're buying from an indie team which has only got, say, 2 or 3 people behind the game, if one of them is fixing the bugs, he's not working on game development, which means your game is going to come out later. Because Steam's early access program is so new, nobody really understands what would happen if things go wrong. For example, let's say the developer just simply runs out of funds. He's not sold enough units, he can't carry on development, he closes up shop, no game, that's it. Or what happens if he simply takes the money? Nobody knows what would happen in those circumstances, and it's something to think about, because at some point something like that is going to happen, and it's going to have to be dealt with by the community and by Steam. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the game that you get when you buy a Steam Early Access game is not finished. There's a lot of features and a lot of content that are going to be missing. And you are, to a certain degree, working on the promise of the developer who is making the game. What if that developer breaks that promise? What if he makes a game that's either subtly or massively different to the one that he's sold to you? Now, all developers have to put up a description of the game, what they're aiming to do in Steam's storefront. But there's still an awful lot of wiggle room in there for someone to come in and do a cheap, shoddy job of a game, sell that to you, and just simply take the money. Now, the final thing out of the 5 that I wanted to mention is actually something fairly simple, which is communication. And this is something I really strongly urge you to do before you look at buying any early access game. Look in their Steam forums, in their Steam hub. Make sure the developer is there, is communicating, is talking every day to the players, to the people who are looking to buy the game. And this is an area where very small indie companies, again 2 or 3 people, really have difficulties with. Because if you're in a forum posting, or you're on Twitter, or you're on Facebook posting, you're not developing the game. And as I mentioned earlier, if you're doing support tickets, if you're fixing bugs, you're not developing a game. And this is a problem that the smaller indie developers really tend to hit. Those are my top 5 reasons why you should be leery of buying a Steam Early Access game. Now, I'm not saying everything's totally negative, and in the next video I'm going to cover the top 5 reasons why you should go ahead and buy an Early Access game, because there are some very good ones. But if there's one thing I want to leave you with this video, it's this: caveat emptor, buyer beware.